What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Kansas-born rapper and podcast host Stik Figa. We spoke about Ozark, Euphoria, the Super Bowl halftime show, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, American Beauty, the art of appreciating art, how Kansas became a mixtape hub for several different kinds of rap, whether Kendrick Lamar is an all-time great, and the creative process behind several of his projects, including the August Fanon-produced Heresy. Come fuck with us. No.
Running my mouth.
Don't even trip, bro. We're here to talk. You know, this is just the warm-up type shit. Let me make sure I
running my mouth, not staying on subject.
So that's what we're here for. Let me just make sure I got my shit real quick.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm ready. So all right. I'm gonna do this drop real quick, and then we can get it moving. All right. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to this slowly moving second season of Real Notes, which is, we're here. Dylan Green, CineMasai. I got a lot of names. I do a lot of things. I watch a lot of things when I get the time. I don't always have time to watch the amount of things I want to watch, which is crazy because this is a fucking movie and rap podcast. So why am I not watching shit? Get your shit together, son. But no.
Yeah.
You know, we got
glasses on.
Oh wow. All right, he's ready. He's officially ready now.
I'm in my film critic mood. Glasses on.
You can't see him, but he's wearing a champion t-shirt too. So he's really keeping it classy all the way through, son.
Yeah.
This is somebody I've been knowing for, I don't even remember how long it's been since we first met and started talking, but like I've been knowing you for a while. Like, man, so like this guy's
17, 16, somewhere way back.
Yeah, something like that. It's been at least 5 years, but like this guy's a rapper from Topeka, Kansas. He's been going stupid. He's been going stupid for a while, like on a whole bunch of different labels, and he's got his own thing going on. He's been working. He's been all over the map off this beautiful thing we call rap. We got I was debating whether I was gonna do it or not, but I'm gonna do it. It's Stik Figa, man. We got Stik Figa in the house. Like, come on,
that. You did it so I didn't have to.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you would wanted to. I didn't want to take that from you.
Oh, I did it. I had a whole thing ready, prepared.
I'm sorry,
but it's all good. You did it so I didn't have to. I have a whole, which you got it. You got it. Continue.
Oh man. Oh, he's gonna yell at me after, y'all. Don't be surprised.
It's all good.
But
CineMasai is looking cooler than me. I shaved my mustache recently. You reminded me why I shouldn't have did that. So you look way cool. And I forget how uncool I look without my stash. So it'll be coming back. We'll be making a return.
You're welcome. I'm the same way because I've been thinking about doing it forever, and I'm like, I don't I'm fine with the way my top lip looks, but like it's been too long, so I don't want to I got to be real methodical with how I trim it, because if I don't, it's just gonna be like same with the beard and shit. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. You got to
be too traumatic for people if they are used to seeing you fully clothed, is what I say.
Yeah.
Fully clothed. All your clothes on. I took all my clothes off for a job interview. But when I get in there,
that's when it can all grow back and shit. Yeah, I got the same thing going on with these. I'm shaving my hair right now. Yeah,
you got the right profession though.
Yeah. I'm lucky and I'm blessed for that. But Stik, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming here. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. I've been wanting to be on here since, I'm trying to remember whose episode, the Arm & Hammer episode.
Oh, wow. Early.
I need to be on there because I too love movies. And I have stuff to say about movies.
Hell yeah. God damn. I'm so ready.
Oh.
So In that case, let me ask you. Let me ask you that opener. What's the last movie or TV show you watched that you have a strong opinion about?
I completed the recent season of Ozark.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asking myself if shows about, middle-aged white men turning to drug dealing during their midlife crisis, is this one better than the other one, Breaking Bad? I guess you could three-way do it, because then there's Weeds too.
Weeds is definitely
Weeds is another one that kind of slides under the radar. But man, that season 4 part 1 was very serious. It's moving really fast, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm kind of worried about how they're going to end it. I don't know if they're going to stick the landing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good show.
I haven't started it yet. I've been meaning
to. Start Ozark?
Not yet. No, I've been meaning to, but I ran through Breaking Bad, and I needed a break after that. I needed to take a quick step back.
I'm just saying, are you one of those people who avoids pop culture phenomena until you can watch it without the hype?
Not usually. If I like something enough, I'll watch it. I don't care if everybody I'm not
okay.
that too cool for school person. I'm gonna watch it with people. I just binged all of Euphoria to catch up with that. So I
have crazy opinions about that show too, but I can't stop watching it. So I don't know. I can't pass any judgment on that show because I'm watching it.
Right. It's
but there's a lot of weird things happening for me. I don't know how I feel about them. Spoilers ahead for everyone listening. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how I feel about them humanizing Cal the way they did. The dad,
Yeah.
Are we sure he's still a pedophile?
Yeah. it's just they gave him
drawer of child pornography.
Yeah.
So,
but to address everything you just said, Cal is a pedophile, and his fucking son is it's complicated.
Psychopath.
He's just it's just all a lot. Like on one hand, I do definitely appreciate them just trying to, because it's the whole thing of people being these people are human. They're just like us. They're just people that you would suspect are I never would have expected that person to be that bad because they seem perfect. Right. But that's on the one hand. On the other hand, it sometimes feels like they're kind of smoothing over it a little bit, and he just dipped and left, and that's it. No consequences faced. I mean, he is a white dude, so you could even consider that meta commentary on that or whatever. But that's a given.
Given accuracy. That was pinpoint accuracy.
Right.
Let this man off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan. Anyway,
just like Joe Rogan, son. Oh my god.
Just like Joe Rogan.
Oh man, nah, no, we can say that here. Fuck Joe Rogan.
Ozark.
But talk to me about Ozark.
But Ozark is there's so many things happening at once when you watch it. I could be reading into this, but there's definitely some class commentary happening with the way that the birds kind of move in and out of poor people's lives and make decisions and do things and have rationale behind all of their choices. And then the poor people of this community in Southeast Missouri are just kind of left with Marty Bird and the Bird family's choices because they're somehow more important. And then you have just the drug cartel element of it too, and there's a lot of action. It's got a lot of cool things happening at once. But the thing I appreciated the most, and I was arguing with my son about this, versus Breaking Bad, where Walt is Walt is almost like a comic book character in that he has, even though it's not a superpower, he has like an advantage over every member of the cast because he's a genius. Like they establish through the show, the man is an actual genius. So there's these moments when you're watching and it's like season 1 when he disguises the crystal meth as a bomb. And he has this like MacGyver moment and he blows up the thing and it's like, it has that like, it has a more welcoming feel to it because of that. Like you can kind of have fun with that kind of stuff, like knowing about magnets and knowing about cooking perfect crystal meth, like any meth head has ever cared about that. Like all that kind of stuff happening where it's a little more fun and where Ozark is a little darker and a little more it's a little more honest about the whole thing, I think is more honest about what it would look like if, this was the scenario for an ordinary family.
I appreciate that, honestly.
And two, I like the fact that Wendy Bird, again, but she's a G.
Damn, I can't even ask like what she does, but like I'm so like I'm Howard, Jason Bateman, and Laura Linney because I like Laura Linney a lot. I have feelings about Jason Bateman sometimes, but when he's good, he's good. When he's good, he's good. Like, how are they?
Laura Linney is killing it. Laura Linney is killing it. Jason Bateman is, I just like him. Like, I think I just like him. It's like, he's like on my list of like white dudes that I like. Him, Paul Rudd, has that quality. They're just likable guys. Sometimes I can't tell if Jason Bateman is just playing himself in that particular role. I don't know. I feel like this is what Jason Bateman would do. Like it's not the character, actually Jason Bateman. But that kind of makes it more fun to watch too. It's just like you get drawn into the world.
You know what's crazy? That's kind of how I felt about watching him in Horrible Bosses. You ever see Horrible Bosses before?
Yeah, I love Horrible Bosses. Silly. The movie's silly. I like it though. Yeah. I'm a fool for those kind of flicks too. I'm a fool for like, I know that they're not like great films, but I'm a sucker for like Horrible Bosses and like Due Date. You ever see Due Date?
Yeah, the one with Downey Jr. and yeah.
Galifianakis. Like that was peak Galifianakis. I don't know what happened with that whole thing. Like he just kind of slid out of the way.
Yeah.
But that was peak Galifianakis. Where did he go?
Cause like he did that he had that like web series where he like it was like on some Eric Andre shit where he like interviewed people, and then that was basically it, and then he just kind of disappeared. I don't know where he went.
Disappeared. He did 3 Hangover movies, Due Date. I'm trying to think what else he's in.
He did like a couple like voiceover things, but
yeah, he did some voice. But other than that, he's been kind of MIA. I don't know him. Yeah. The other guy, McBride.
Danny McBride, hell yeah.
McBride, yeah. I like him. Like those guys, his whole thing is like these oversized, like way too confident, arrogant characters that he does. They're dope. I like that. So that's my comedy taste.
You ever watch the Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah, I'm all the way up to date. That bug is good.
Same. My partner and I just caught up on the Righteous Gemstones. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, super funny. Like the twist was really cool. Like the story about John Goodman back in the day.
Yeah.
I love that. I love he was a wrestler and all this stuff. That joke is tight.
Yeah, fucking breaking people's thumbs and just cause like we got none of that from him in the first season, and then out of nowhere they were like, yeah, he used to wrestle, and like, but then it all made sense because of how the Gemstone Empire and like televangelist shit is set up. Like he kind of brought that to what, like it made perfect sense.
Yeah, but it's clicking. I really like their sister character.
Oh, Judy.
She's out of control.
She's too much, bro.
Yeah, she's too much. She's definitely like, she's synthesized like those moments in like movies like Talladega Nights where the kid is like, I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I'm gonna attack you like world monkey. Like she's that for this show, but like all the time, like constantly with no stops. So it's dope.
Yeah, it's like all I think about is the first season finale where she's telling her fiance like what happened with the thing. I don't want to say it because it's like fucked up and nasty. But like just like that whole moment, like I'm thinking like just when the shit can't get no worse, it just gets worse. Like
they find a way.
Like oh my,
Andy McKay is good at that. Like he's good at doing like border like gross out humor, but like there's still some commentary in there, and it's still just funny, just good and funny.
Right.
So, I'm into that.
I've been selling that to people as like I like to think of it like Arrested Development if the Bluths owned a mega church instead of what did the Bluths own on Arrested? What was their company? What did they do again? I don't remember.
Was it boats? Did they own boats? Hey, Stan.
Damn, I don't remember. Oh, how you doing?
She ain't gonna speak. She shy. She what we call down south. She shame face. She acting like she shame. But I think they owned a boat. Didn't they own like I thought they owned like a boat rental service or something?
It was a real estate business. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. It was a real estate business. Yeah, you're right. Because Jason Bateman was living in the model house.
Yeah,
that they were trying to sell. Yeah, okay, right. Yep. And then the first time the show ended, his mom went off with the Queen Mary boat.
Yeah,
and that's what.
Yes.
Either way, that shit is hilarious.
Too funny. That's Michael Cera, and that's a good show.
Yeah, I had a good time with that.
They're best too. All those characters.
Right, definitely. Yeah,
what's Cuz name from Portlandia? That's on there.
Oh shit. Damn.
Isn't it like
not the main guy.
No, he's a side character. He's married to their sister.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't watch Portlandia like that.
Whatever.
I didn't watch Portlandia like that.
Something like art. You haven't watched? Oh, that show is funny.
I've watched it, but like I'm not like I haven't seen the whole thing. Like, and my sister lives out there too, so I kind of get like I get it. I get it more than the average person not from Portland might. I just never finished it. I had fun with it when I watched it.
Right on. That's what's up.
It kind of reminded me. You ever watch, before we move on, because I know we've been on this for a minute. You ever watch you ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know? Back when
I did. I watched a little bit of that.
The Whitest Kid You Know was crazy. The fucking gallon of PCP. How
crazy is that? What was that channel? Fuse.
It was Fuse, and I think they aired it on the IFC. I don't know if IFC is a thing anymore. The channel at least.
Yeah, I was thinking about Fuse the other day because I was like, they should show music videos. They show music videos and weird shows like that. It was like a almost cooler version of MTV.
Yeah, and they used to do like on-air interviews. Like they had like they were like a publication, low key. They were like putting out like content for like Twitter and Instagram and shit. Yeah, and, like Snapchat and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Again, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, truly. So you have a great base already, which is super dope. Like, but like, let's run it all the way fucking back. What's the first movie experience you can remember having? Like, it could be at the theater, your cousin's house. It could be like whatever. Like the first time you remember. Yeah, tell me.
First time I remember, because I'm sure I saw a movie before this, but this is the first time I remember going to the movies or seeing a movie. Was I was down south in Little Rock, Arkansas, visiting my cousins, and they went to, and I used to think that was always the most fun because my cousin, I have like older cousins that are all cool. My cousin Lil John, my cousin Sherry, my cousin Cassie. My cousin Cassie is along with me, but the other two are older than me. And I remember we were all hanging out at the house, and my older cousin Lil John, who had a car, was like,
Yeah.
"Man, we're going bowling and we're going to the movies." And I begged to go with him. I wasn't supposed to go with him because I was too little, right? And they're like, "He's gonna get scared." I didn't know what they was planning on seeing. So I get in the car with him. I want to say he had a Lincoln. I think he had like a 92, 93 Lincoln. I could be lying on him, but he had something smooth to me because I was a little kid. And he let me sit in the front, and we went to the drive-through.
Hey.
And we saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Wow.
And there's a scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where, I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, I have. Yeah, no, I've seen it.
You remember when they melt dude in the ink thing, and he disappears and his clothes is just sitting there? Bruh. Tears. I was so scared of that, bro. That's just terrifying. A lot of firsts were happening in that too. Like Jessica Rabbit, like her shape.
Right.
Got me. I was like, oh, I know who I am. I know what I'm into. But yeah, when they belted cuz in the nightmares. But I had fun and I begged to be there. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be there, but when we went bowling afterwards, like I didn't want to play.
Oh man.
Like, I was like devastated because I thought it was real. I was like, man, can you really do that to somebody? Can you really melt somebody? Like I was stressed. I was stressed.
Not if you're not a cartoon. Not if you're not a tune and shit.
But no one took the time. Like none of our older cousins were like, man, that's not real. Like they get supposed to like calm down, relax stuff. It was just like, man, crying, bro.
That's hilarious.
You're gonna be all right, man. Chill out. But that's my first movie experience that I remember.
That's beautiful because I don't remember the first time I saw Roger Rabbit, but I remember that scene, you know, like because like it and then like his whole character and everything is just like, bro, like because like right before bro got melted, there's like he like reveals to Eddie that he was the guy who killed his brother, and like the eyes start popping out and his voice goes super high, and I'm just like, I was like, bro, what am I watching right now? Like,
that shit was crazy. It was really crazy.
God.
Now I think about it, I think it was PG-13.
It was, yeah. It was not a kid's movie like people thought it was.
It was not a kid's movie, but I saw it as a child.
Hey,
with my older cousin.
Good. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you good. I was just saying, good flick. It's a good movie.
Yeah, nah, for real. I've been meaning to rewatch it again. It's been a minute, but that was one of my favorite movies coming up because I also watched it. I'm pretty sure I saw it for the first time. If it wasn't at my cousin's house, like the time I remember seeing it for the first time was at my cousin's house, and just like just like putting that shit together and like and they had it was the version that came with like the little cartoon shorts beforehand, like the Baby Herman cartoons. So,
It
was.
I remember that too.
Damn, like that.
Not to detour too much, but they're doing Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
I'm so happy you brought that up. I'm so
geeked, bro. I'm so excited, bro. I said, are you serious? This is forgotten, important, like iconography.
For real.
Rescue Rangers, man. I used to sing that like that theme song. It's like that theme song and Darkwing Duck for some reason. Darkwing Duck, Inspector Gadget, but
and Ducktales. What about Ducktales?
Ducktales. Those were good theme songs, man.
Yeah, they were. Mm-hmm. But like, and they're bringing that back too. Like the on Disney Plus. I'm so dead ass. Go look it up. I'm so serious.
Bro.
Yeah, see?
Don't play with me, bro.
I'm so serious. I'm dead ass. Go look it up.
X-Men.
Like that. Like I don't know how they're gonna make it look, but like they're bringing like the original show back. somehow. That's what they said. But
You're
while you're
right.
yo, crazy, right? Yeah, you can't see his face, but
They
he's
can't
like,
see my face, bro, but I'm so excited, bro.
yo.
Oh, they're making us wait till 2023 though.
Of course, yeah. No, they announced it last year because they did that like Disney. They did like the big like announcement thing where they were like throwing like 60. It's like what Paramount Plus did a couple days ago. Like with the like we're doing this, and this. Like
That's so exciting, bro.
yeah, we're it's
I'm
a, it's a,
deep.
it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time to be a fan of that shit for real. Like we're really living our dreams right now.
Bruh, for real. Like I'm so glad like all of the stuff that I wanted to happen. I guess I had to wait till I was in my 30s, I guess, but it's coming back. So that's cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, you know, and you mentioned you mentioned the it was Darkwing Duck, it was Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and then I mentioned Ducktales. Like those three theme songs like are so like because like people were really in their New Jack Swing bag just making like the crazy like this just were beautiful. Like after I saw the Chippendale Rescue Rangers on the trailer for the new one, which is on some Roger Rabbit shit, which is funny enough as it is. Like it's just like I couldn't get the song out of my head. I was like I knew like the first half of the Chippendales Rescue Rangers theme song because it's and like I was thinking to myself, what?
It's perfect. The song.
It's perfect.
It's a perfect song. Like
it's
crazy.
It just makes me happy every time I hear it. And like the show, I looked it up after I watched the trailer. The show only ran for like a year and a half, but it was just like they put it in
like
crazy
it was on forever
because they put it in syndication and the reruns were just on for like 2 decades. You know, because like I was born in '92, and like so like the show had already been off the air a year before I was born. But like I grew up on Chippendale Rescue Rangers because it was just on TV, like that and DuckTales and Dark. It was just on at all times, you know. So like,
let's get dangerous.
Like son, come on.
We do.
Just
like
that
hard though.
Real timeless. Like god damn. Like
the times, man.
Like just thinking of really for real, like just thinking about how like that stuff was kind of like just before, like I mean like Darkwing Duck and DuckTales kind of aired around the time I was growing up, but like stuff like Rescue Rangers that was like just before my time, like and how attached to that I am. Like it makes me feel like I'm older than I am, like just by like 3 or 4 years. Like I'm about to turn 30 in a month, but I feel like I'm a little older when I see when I saw that come out. Like, what year did this go off? Like, how old am I? Like, I had to really like check myself for a second. Like,
and you got excited. That also showed your age. Like they were talking about how
hey man,
they were talking about how the doggone Super Bowl aged a bunch of people because it was like, oh man, like I mean, traditionally the Super Bowl is like Bruce Springsteen and things that I would call old because I didn't listen to Bruce Springsteen growing up. And like now here we are, 50 Cent Upside Down is an image that already is like iconic in my mind. And then my son, who is like 15, is like, why is he upside down? Why is he doing that? Like you missed it. You weren't there.
Right. Yeah. No, you were not outside. Yeah. Like
you're not outside.
Like, I had to think about the fact that, yeah, man, fucking 50's debut album turns 20 next year. Get Rich or Die Trying is 19 years old. Like that's, man, I can't even like, I remember sense. Right. Like, it's just, that
had to be the biggest. You said you were born in 92, right?
92, yeah.
That had to be the biggest album in your high school years, right? I imagine. Middle school?
No, yeah, no, 03, I was like about to enter middle school because I graduated, I started high school in 06. So I must have been in like, maybe like, because in 03 I was 11. So I would say maybe like maybe like getting ready to go to middle school. Like that was but like
everywhere.
Yo, for real, it was everywhere. Like in the club was everywhere. Like fucking just like I remember the first. Hmm?
I was gonna say the other one, 21 Questions.
Yeah, I was about to say I remember when I first heard 21 Questions, like, and I didn't get it at first, and then after a couple of years, I was like, oh, like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's a big
and,
record. Those are big records. Yeah.
oh man, yeah, like that whole album, like that really felt like such a, like 50 Cent he might have been the first like huge rap superstar that I saw in my life, at least like at that level, and like really
Yeah.
that I could kind of like claim as mine. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like seeing Snoop come out with Rhythm and Gangster a couple years later. It was like 50 Cent was like mine, like 50 Cent.
That was probably like for me, Doggy Style.
Right.
Like
I was gonna,
my generation saw Doggy Style. Well, the Chronic too, but Doggy Style was like ubiquitous. It was like everywhere, in everyone's home. It was in everyone's car. It was in everyone's CD player, Discman, whatever they had. With anything you had to listen to music, they were playing Doggy Style. Everyone's playing Doggy Style. And I think that's when I got older and I saw how the 50 Cent thing happened. And I remember seeing these little kids, little white kids, because I used to work at Starbucks in the suburbs in Memphis. I used to work in this area called Collierville. And bruh, little white kids came in. They couldn't have been 6, 7. Talking about Ghost Show. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. No.
And they little light up shoes and stuff. Oh, he did it. He did it. He's the one. He's the guy.
It's over.
It's over.
It was. Oh my God. That's
crazy.
That's such a distinct image too, because like
him upside down. Like it's so very like muscles,
right?
Ugly white beater.
awful looking
whack
tank top and shit. Like,
yeah, the tank top was crazy.
For real.
You're crazy if you actually ever own that or his shoes. You're bugging. You're doing a lot.
I had a G Unit jacket. I was like obsessed. Like like my father bought me a G Unit jacket. Like this was when because I was really big on the Games documentary when that came out. Like that was the thing that was like my like I'm in on G. Like because like between that and like Banks was popping at the time. Like all the G Unit dudes. Like I was just like, I love this, like, and I really wanted in on that. So I definitely, I don't have that jacket anymore, but I was definitely like, Dad, I need the fucking G Unit. It was like a puff. It was a puffer with the furry lining and shit. It was everything. So
hey,
it was the whole shit.
Giving you a dap from the internet, man. That's big. That's big. I respect
like, oh man, it was. I felt like 50 at the beginning of his verse on Games Hate It or Love It when he said, what was it? Grandma said if I could move a few packs, I get the hat. Like that was my fucking hat at that point. I was like, yes, let's go. Like without having to move any drugs because I was a fucking little kid. But like, yeah.
Hell yeah, I love it though. I love that.
Oh man,
I love stories like that.
Yeah, me too. Like that's what we do this type of shit for. And like before we move on again, like like Doggy Style, I was seeing people tell stories. Like somebody, I forget who the person was. I'm about to say the fucking eternal Twitter phrase. Somebody said that they found like they remember that their parents like dragged them back to the record store to return the copy of Doggy Style because they found out that Snoop was a gang member and all this shit. And now like everybody's seeing him at the Super Bowl, like dancing around, just like, oh, like look at him in his like cute little like cornflower blue jumpsuit. Like like people were like, he's just, Snoop is something else, man.
It's crazy. It really is crazy because like my generation, like I remember how angry people were at the Chronic and Doggy Style. I remember all of the protests. Like I remember seeing on TV people steamrolling out in protest, like buying hundreds of copies of a CD. And I couldn't. All it really did was make me want to hear it more. But I think it was like it was one of those weird things where I didn't connect with why they were so mad, because when I finally heard the music, I was just like, "This is good. This is good." Like I don't know what the problem is. I mean, now that I'm an adult, I get it. But I have kids. I'm like, I'm a kid running around singing. It ain't no fun if the homie can't have none. Like, I should have been listening to that. But like the music, incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
I mean, this is like a perfect. I joke with people. I make my East Coast friends mad because I'm like, well, that's my Illmatic.
That's fine. I'm not gonna get.
Well, I love Illmatic.
That's fine. Yeah, you know, like it's all good.
But I wasn't really there for Illmatic. I wasn't there regionally, or like I'd had to discover all those classics after the fact, because I was like a West Coast down south music baby, and I had to, like, when I started wanting to do music, this has nothing to do with your podcast. I'm sorry, but I had to,
this is where we're going anyway. This is all good.
Okay, but I had to like go back and watch films. I had to go back and listen. People were like, "You haven't heard this? Haven't heard Illmatic? You haven't, like, chastising you?" And it's like, well, I guess I gotta hear it, But if I'm being honest, Doggy Style was the one. Number one. I was the one. I was like, this is incredible. I've never heard anything like this. I just want to do this, because I don't know how you even make something that makes people react this way to you. You know what I mean? Telling stories and all this other stuff. Yeah, man. But yeah, that was the only little tangent I wanted to go on.
That's incredible, like this shit matters to people, and I want to know. I want to know, what was that for you with movies? Like, what movie did that for you? Like, was it Roger Rabbit, or was there something later that kind of really unlocked that in your brain?
Yeah, I saw one of the movies. The movie that made me want to see like better movies, or kind of like click something in my brain that said, oh, like movies are more than just, okay, let me frame this right. Movies are entertainment. Movies can function as entertainment, but there are films that can communicate things, challenge you, and be artful in a way that, like, your ordinary box office smash. Like, I realized that there were different categories, and my homies actually made fun of me for it, and that's how I knew it must have been something different. And it was American Beauty.
Wow, that one's never come up on here before. I'm kind of surprised.
American Beauty. I remember the commercials or the trailers for American Beauty. I don't have that the plastic bag floating around. I was with my homeboys. I was just telling somebody else this story. I was with my homeboys at I think it was my buddy Ron's crib, and it came on, and that whole thing I thought it was interesting, right? And I was like, man, we should go see it. We should go see that. And then it's just jokes. This nigga John want to watch the movie about a plastic bag, bro. What are we talking about, bro? What are you talking about? We're not watching plastic bag movie. John, the type of dude, want to watch a movie about a burning trash can. And it's just so on and so forth. Like, John want to watch the movie that's in French. Ooh, oui, foo. And I'm like, dang, man. Like, they had me being like, I was bussy or whatever. Like, I was lame for wanting to see this movie. But when it came out, this is aging me, but when it finally came out on video,
Right.
I got to watch it. I watched it by myself. And I was like, yo, this was incredible. Like all the reveals, you know what I'm saying? Like all the messaging, the way that he flips out in the garage, like all these different themes. I was like, I want to watch more movies like that. So that was one of those that turned me into like a movie person. Like I want to watch the stuff that I wouldn't normally watch. Like, of course, I still watch Friday is still my favorite movie.
Right, come on. Like
but it's tied with Fargo for that reason.
See?
You know, it's like, okay, you could do different stuff with film. You can tell certain stories. You can tell stories different ways. They don't have to be linear. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can do all kinds of stuff, but it started with American Beauty.
That's fire.
Like that.
That's fire because like because like everybody should have like a we think about what it means to like look at higher art, quote unquote, and like what it means to be like a healthy like there's I think it's so healthy to just have like you can have your Fridays and you can have your Fargos and they're both equally good at what they do. You know, like I would put a movie like Friday up against
exactly
like Fargo. They're both great movies, and like they both set out to do exactly what they want to do, and they do it. Like Friday is a timeless movie, in my opinion. Fargo is also a timeless movie, in my opinion. They're just like really well crafted. Like you know, like there's an art to making people laugh. There's an art to making people think. Like it's all art. You know, like it's we don't have to like you know like just thinking of like more recent stuff. Like my partner and I just went to go see Jackass Forever last week, or no, on Monday for Valentine's Day. Like that, I could tell you right now, that's the most fun I'm gonna have in a movie theater the entire year. I don't care what the fuck else I see. Like that shit was crazy. I loved it. I loved it. But I'm also really hyped to go catch this other joint coming out in March called Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's about
that looks so good. Yeah, like, I'm excited about that one too.
For anybody listening who hasn't heard of it, it's like Michelle Yeoh, the woman from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She like lives out a whole bunch of different lives, and I don't know what the fuck it's about, but it looks crazy, fire. You know?
Yeah,
like I'm amped for that shit, you know? Like and like those two things in my mind are equally artful. Like that's like there's no like that's all art.
I mean that's the whole thing. It's the same thing with this hip hop thing for me. Like I was saying earlier, where it was kind of like in reverse because I was into, like I said, I was into Bay Area, West Coast, and South music, right?
Right.
And I was coming up in a time where it was like that weird time where like Puffy was becoming popular and people were rejecting that and people were getting like hyper like angry about rap music because it was becoming so big. And I had some friends, man, who were like they're the dudes they talk about on Twitter, like real hip hop. You know, and real hip hop is X, Y, and Z, and it has to check these boxes and these metrics. And they would be real hard on the stuff I liked. It was like I remember liking Jay-Z's first album. No, not his first album, second album. I liked In My Lifetime Volume 1.
Right. See, a lot of people have feelings about that album too, so that's crazy.
Yeah,
I like that. I like the album too.
It's a good album. It's not a great album, but it was like my introduction to Jay-Z, you know. But I had a homeboy who was into he had a computer, he had the internet, and he had friends that were into weird, what I would back then call the weird stuff. You know, he was into this group of guys called Quantum. He was into hieroglyphics. He was into like atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. Right. And that's how I got introduced to it. So once I heard that stuff, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I don't like all of it, but it's interesting, you know? And that led me to the quote unquote, because since they were such like real hip hop screamers, like you gotta hear Illmatic, you gotta hear Lord Finesse, you gotta hear, and I would do that. But what used to make me mad is I'd be like, oh, you gotta hear E40.
Right, come on.
Let's play fair. If I have to hear Illmatic, you have to hear In a Major Way by E40. You have to hear Above the Law. You have to hear, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
come on now. Let's do this. Let's really talk about it, you know. But it was kind of the same thing with films, you know, except there wasn't any, I had that little resistance because it was like, oh, this is, I think there's like a reaction on both sides of it. Like even with family members of mine now, I'll be like, me and my wife went and saw Denzel, the Macbeth movie.
That shit was crazy, right? I saw like a month ago. He went in.
I'm telling my sister, I'm not gonna sit there and watch that. I don't want to see that. Talk.
Yeah.
But you know, different things. Whereas you were saying a second ago, like, man, it's all art. You know what I'm saying? Each artist sets out they have their own goal in mind. You know, I'm sure Chief Keef, when he made Finito, which is a brilliant record, I don't think his intention was to be hyper cool. He didn't want to be Lupe Fiasco. We already have Lupe Fiasco, and they both from Chicago.
Yeah,
and they both from the hood. That's the other thing people get wrong. Like, man, Lupe from West Side. I've been out to where Lupe's from. It is not sweet at all. You know, so that's what I say just about the art thing is like everyone has, like you said it best. So it's like everyone has their intention and their goal in mind when they're making their art. You know, just respect it on its own. I try to anyway.
Right. You know, I like real quick, I had a like me growing up, I was I didn't hit my real hip hop shit until maybe about high school. Cause like from late elementary school to early middle school, like that was around the time, like right when I was in middle school was when like snap music went big, like Soulja Boy and D4L and like them franchise
another time
boys.
People were getting real combative.
Right. Yeah. You know, like that was so like, you know, I was like really into snap music. I was really into crunk because like Lil Jon had just started to pop around that time too. Like what's it called? E40 had Tell Me When to Go, and he had his big I wouldn't call it a revival. I wouldn't call it a revival because he had been around, but like that was like the thing that introduced me to E40. Like Tell Me When to Go was huge. In the same way that Snoop's Drop It Like It's Hot was huge at that exact same time, you know, like, so I was into all of that shit. Like that was me all day, but I was also listening to stuff like Gorillaz and like stuff that was a little like weirder and more poppy and experimental. And, you know, like I was a kid, I was listening to fucking pop music, which, you know, people, you know, you don't have to be a kid to listen to pop music. Let me put that qualifier there now, but it was around the time, right. But like, it was around the time that I discovered Doom. And I discovered Mad Villainy, and I heard The Mouse and the Mask, and then I heard Old Tribe Called Quest and Nas, and I went and I was deep in the backpack, bro. That was it for me. Like I had like my Kanye, my Lupe, my Doom, and like it wasn't that anything else I didn't want to hear it. It's that I stopped actively seeking out the stuff that I was fucking with. Like Rich Boys Throw Some D's was my favorite song ever, and then out of nowhere.
Rich Boy's self-titled album is very, very good. People should listen to it.
It's gas, bro. It really, really is. Like,
it's gas. From 1 to 15, I think, is gas. All gas. Yeah.
Right.
Straight up.
He went in on that whole project, you know, and like, and like, I fell in, like, I feel like I tell this story a lot, but like I fell deep into my backpack like at that point because like I was really into Lupe's his Food and Liquor, obviously, like like I was just like I was into all of that stuff, but then around the time I discovered Doom and I heard Nas's Hip Hop Is Dead, like I was like, oh, okay, I gotta only be on like I was very I wasn't like I wouldn't call myself angry, but I was like at that point where I was just like, all I want to hear is this shit. Like I went back and did all my like research on the older stuff. Like I was running like old Tribe and old Gangstar and like and like pretty like not really a lot of like older like 80s stuff, but like pretty much anything from 1990 on, I was like, I just became like a history book at that point. And I was kind of insufferable. I was insufferable, and I regretted a little bit because like I kind of missed Wayne's rise because I was kind of a hater in a lot of ways. Like I was like hearing the music and shit, but like I wasn't appreciating it, and I wasn't letting myself get into it the way I needed to because I was just like, oh, it's not fucking Can't Forget About You by Nas. Like I was that fucking kid. I was the worst.
Yeah. I was thinking about it because when you say Doom, I think Doom for you, yeah, because for me it was Wu-Tang Clan.
See?
Wu-Tang Clan was my real hip hop entry point. And you know, now that we're talking about it out loud, it's funny because I really liked a lot of West Coast stuff that wasn't getting treated. That I think now that I'm talking about it out loud, it sounded a lot like quote unquote real hip hop East Coast stuff, like Exhibit, Razzcast, Alcoholics.
Nobody ever talks about the Alcoholics, yeah.
But it doesn't get the same, you know what I mean? Like discussion point.
Right.
Far Side.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Bizarre Ride's one of my favorite albums ever. Love that album.
Incredible. Very, very transformative for me in the way that I make music. But yeah, it's like but Wu-Tang Clan was my shade because it was with, like I said, the guys would be like, they never made their way over. We had a whole thing in the Kansas City area, bro, where it's like, I don't listen to East Coast. That was for real a thing. Like, or people be like, you over there listening to all treble music. That's what they used to call East Coast rap. All treble.
All treble music. That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Like, over there listening to all treble. We'll listen to that. Ain't no bass. You know what I'm saying? Because we a car city.
Right.
So you got to be able to throw it in. And I didn't spend this much money on a sub and so whatnot. You're not going to throw, you're not going to throw the mom for that. Even though it does have low ride to say, you know.
Right. You know, like you're not going to throw, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was going to piggyback though, because like RZA's production doesn't lend itself to that. Like, boom, boom, it doesn't lend itself to that. But I would like Wu-Tang, and they'd be like, I don't even know what they're talking about. What are they talking about? That's what he's. Sometimes I didn't know what they were talking about, but I pretended to.
You know, like and like it's crazy because like growing up north, like people would say the same things about, you know, like people would say the same things about artists like Lil Jon and like people like that, and it's just like I know what they're talking about. It's not like it means nothing. Like there's things happening. It's just like they want to like most of the time they want to party, and that's fine. Like it's all good. It didn't mean shit to me. I just liked it. It just sounded good. And it's crazy you bring up Wu-Tang as your kind of entry point because right, yeah, absolutely. It's crazy you bring up Wu-Tang as that entry point for you because I read an interview that Earl Sweatshirt did, and he said that Mad Villainy was our generation's 36 Chambers. And I have to agree because Mad Villainy was such a moment for us, you know, like that was like the, oh shit, rap can sound like this, you know, and then that's when like people come up on 36 Chambers and all the old stuff. Like I was just talking to somebody about like the fact that like I used to have homies come over to my house and we would just like rhyme and people would like freestyle over we pull up Gangstar instrumentals on YouTube and people would just go in over Primo beats, you know, like that was the
real hip hop starter kit, man. Like I rapped over Nas's like so many times, bro.
Oh my god,
like, that was the one. That's the one.
What a fucking beat!
Oh my god, that and Keep It Thorough. I rapped over those beats so many times. Yeah, man. For sure.
Yeah. I'm actually happy we came to this point now because, you know, like we've been saying, you're from Topeka, you're from the literal middle of the country. And like, I know I went down to Tulsa a couple of years ago. I got invited to a thing 2 years before the pandemic, or right as the pandemic was starting to ramp up, and I realized like I talked to so many people in that area, and like being there, I saw so much of that influence coming from everywhere. It's not like it's not like in Cali or in Texas or in New York where there's like one, or in like Atlanta where there's like one subset of thing that kind of domineers over everything. Like y'all get it from all fucking sides. And I love that about your area. And you've already been kind of been talking about it.
Yeah,
So like what, so like, I mean, like I was going to ask you what your rap experience was like growing up, but like you're already kind of talking about it. So like, how do you, I guess like, how do you feel, to get more specific, how do you feel that shaped the way you became a rapper, or like the way you consume music, like rap specifically?
Yeah, I'll answer it in two parts. The way that I got music was always through a intermediary, right? So it was either my older cousin would play me rap, or I saw it on TV. So if I saw somebody on TV I'm more of a Rap City baby than an MTV Raps baby, right?
Right.
So if I was gonna get it like hand to hand, it was either someone I knew personally. And another thing about what you said about Tulsa and Kansas City, Topeka, Lawrence, like the area that I'm from, is we got a lot of people coming and going. You know, not a lot of people want to live there. Like a lot of them are there either because of the military from somewhere else, or they took a job somewhere with the railroad or something like that. That has them there from somewhere else. And then as soon as they get out of there, they get out of there because who wants to be there, kind of thing,
Right.
And so with that, a lot of kids from growing up, my experience, a lot of kids from Chicago, a lot of kids from California, a lot of kids from Oklahoma, and a lot of kids from Texas. So they're all bringing the music that they're like very thriving cultural music scenes were already producing, So you got kids from California, from the Bay Area, bringing in the Too Short, bringing in the E40, bringing in the Mac Dre. You got all the kids from Texas. This is just my memory, but it's like all the kids from Texas bringing in all the Lil Flip, bringing in all the Screw, bringing in all this. You know what I'm saying? And then you got all the kids from everywhere else bringing in the West Coast music, like the LA stuff and whatever else. And then we got the television. So it's like coming to us. That's like the only way I was going to find out about East Coast is because of the television. Because I'm like, oh man, they got a guy. I remember there was this song called, there was a rapper named Nine. He had one hit. His album was good. And the song was like, what you want, Nine? Man, I still remember this. I haven't heard this song in years. I still remember like, what you want, Nine? Mad beats for my rhymes. What you want, Nine? Mad clips for my nine. What you want, Nine? A ill posse and my name up in lights and you need. And he rapped like with this weird like raspy voice. Like that's how they used to rap like 93, 94. Oh, what's coming to the do when the do. It's like early BMX kind of thing,
Right.
So that kind of thing where you got so many different influences coming in. For me, it was like, all right, well, where do I fit in this? Like, what's my, like, how do I fit into this? Like, I don't, and then, you go through your phases where you just straight up bite stuff. Like, I used to just straight up bite Mafia. I used to just straight up bite Corrupt. Like, word for word, rhyme for rhyme, cadence for cadence, just imitating, mimicking. And then one of my good friends, Eric, I remember I was rapping like Corrupt because I think I was attracted to the complexity of Corrupt's rhymes, and I was attracted to the like he still had like a street kind of thing to him that I still don't have. But I had proximity to what he was talking about. The things he was
Right.
talking about, I wasn't participating in, but I could see it, or I knew somebody who was doing similar stuff. So
Right.
it was like, all right. So I used to try to rap like Corrupt. And then my buddy was like, man, it's cool. I think he did it the best way you could do it too. Cause he was like, you good, man. You sound like Corrupt though. You try to sound like you.
Uh-oh.
You sound like you. And I was like, yeah. So I say all that to say it's a thing of like synthesizing your influences and then filtering them through your sensibilities and your heart, passion, thoughts, things you care about, you know. I think that's what it comes down to, is like that. And that's how it happened for me, is like I distilled my favorite things about my favorite artists, and then I filtered it through what I knew, you know.
Right.
And then being confident and honest about what I really know, not what I think people want me to say, or that may be that might get me the best response if I just like followed a certain blueprint, you know, which is the reality of my situation for quite some time. Cause it's like I could tell you how many times people be like they'll hear my music, or even early on, even with some of the labels I dealt with, it's like, man, or if I were to search my name on Twitter, it'd be like, he's a cool, I don't, the accent thing, his voice, I don't like it. Or I don't like this and that. Like, but there are things that are very, I try not to take it personal, but sometimes it's like, man, there's some stuff that I just am, you know? Like I'm just country. Like, I don't know, but I'm not dumb. Like, you feel me? Like, and I'm nice, but sometimes they want to hear it a certain way. Or if they're consuming music a certain way, it's something I take into consideration, right? Like, if they're consuming a bunch of Griselda, right? Because that's popular now, and that's kind of like that has a certain visibility.
Yep.
And then you hear me on a beat that they think they want to hear a gun on. It's like, man, he ain't go boom, 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 boom. You feel me? So it's like, oh, they're automatically like turned off. You know what I'm saying? Because they came into it with like a certain notion. So that's something.
Yeah, a certain expectation. Yeah, for sure.
Certain expectation. Yeah, they come into it with a certain expectation, and they hear my voice rapping about fruit snacks or something. And it's like, man, this is bogus. I don't like it. I don't want to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy? So I think that's the biggest thing, though, is just trying to stay you. Like, have your influences, but just make sure you're filtering them through you, through your eyes, through your experiences, through your life, through your path, you know?
What inspired you to really like go at it and not just become like a consumer of rap, but like wanting to actually rap yourself? Like what pushed you to be like, let me do this? It's my turn.
Man, I would say it was, man, that's a really good question. You're good at this. You're a journalist.
I try.
I think the biggest thing was, man, I saw that a voice, let me reframe that. I felt like a voice like mine wasn't out there. I felt like I'm consuming all of this music. I like all of this music, but I don't feel like my particular perspective is out there. So I think I have something to contribute, because otherwise I wouldn't have pursued it. I can say that now after years of doing it, but it's like that was the thing. I remember I wrote we had this thing called Mandala in high school, and it was this book of just all the artists at the school would submit a piece of art, whether it was a photo, like photography, painting, drawing, or short story, essayist, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And my buddy told me to no, it wasn't my buddy, it was my teacher, Miss Vega. Miss Vega told me to submit for it because she liked my stuff. She's I like your writing. And she was like this white lady, man. And I was like, really, for real? I was like, I'll just write raps. It was just raps. And she was like, no, this is really good. You should admit it. You should submit it. And I submitted it. And then I think seeing it, I saw it in the book, like in like a tangible form. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, someone's reading this. Like someone's looking at this. Like your voice is in a thing that other people are going to read, you know? And then I thought like, yo, I got to start getting on some beats. Like I got to start putting these thoughts and ideas on something tangible. So there's proof that I tried. That was a lot of it. Like there's got to be some sort of recorded medium that shows that I attempted, that made an attempt, you know. And then yeah, from there it was just like, yeah, I think I got something to add. And then that got reinforced when I would perform, or I would do my rap thing for people, and I got some positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement too. But I think that's the biggest thing is like, yeah, I think I got something to contribute to this. And I don't know if I was right or wrong yet, but I guess we'll see, you know?
Hey, you know, like that's a spark for so many people in any sort of like creative field type shit. Like that's just like not seeing yourself and feeling like I can put something in here that wasn't there before. Like that's such a powerful thought to have, and to just be like, let me do this my way. You know, like there's so much power in that. And to like and for you to like kind of do your thing and be recognized like as early on as you were by somebody like Odyssey, who like I think reached out to you on MySpace, right?
Bro,
is that right? Yeah, like that's
craziest. It's the craziest thing. Like, so this is the 100% truth. I had never heard of my Odyssey. I'd never heard of him, and I had a friend, my man Sean Miner. Shout out to Sean Miner. I was kicking it at his house, and he was really into that sort of rap. Like he was really into underground hip hop, and he was really into like the low budget crew, and he was into there's a group from Waco, Strange Fruit Project. He was in the Strange Fruit Project, and Odyssey produced on one of those records, and he was playing that for me, and I was like, yeah, man, like this dude Odyssey said he wanted to like do some music. The dude was looking at him like, Odyssey wants to work with you? I was, yeah. Like he hit me up on MySpace. He said, you have to do it. You have to. I'm like, word, all right. Like I'm not hip, you know, like I'm not hip to. He's like, man, as soon as you get home, you get on your MySpace, you tell her that you want to work. And the story that Odyssey tells me is I was in the top 8 of another friend of mine named Miles Bonney. He's a producer and trumpeter, and just all around musician, great guy. And I was in his top 8, and Odyssey heard my stuff on his page, and then found me that way.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was very like gratifying. Like once I started like listening to more Odyssey stuff, I was like, oh, this dude is a professional, and thinks I'm dope. You know, that was very gratifying. And then he was like, yo, you should come out. We should cut some records, man. And I'm like, all right. Like, well, you know, I work. Like, I'm still talking. I have this bad habit. I just don't think of things outside of like my immediate real life sometimes. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't get off work till this day and that day. I might have enough money for it on it. He's like, man, I'm gonna fly you out, man. If I wanted to work with you, I'm gonna make sure that it works out that way.
Right.
I'm gonna facilitate it. And I was like, yo, I'm a rapper, bro. That's crazy. Like,
Shit.
I'm actually dope. And then, yeah, man, that's still my man. But yeah, we went out there and we cut like more than what came out. We released 4 records. I think we cut like 7, 8 records. But yeah, sitting there on his hard drive. Shout out to Odyssey, man. You know, let those records free.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was very like, and then that's how I got introduced to the rest of Mellow Music Group.
Right.
And yeah, like I said, very gratifying. Like it's a good feeling knowing that you're doing something in a direction of something productive, and it's going in a direction where you can be reminded to keep working on your craft and that somebody's listening, you know.
Right. Especially since you had already been like making music and projects like before that. It's not like that was like the first thing you'd done or anything.
Nah.
And then like, and for me, I feel like or not I feel like my introduction to you, as I imagine it was for a lot of people, was the L'Orange record, The City Under the City, and then of course Central Standard, and like we were talking about Mellow, and like that's and like L'Orange is the homie. I had him on last season. Shout out to L'Orange, always and forever. And
L'Orange. Let's do another one, L'Orange. Let's do another one.
Please make that happen. Like, come on now.
He does the same thing twice. But let's put the word out there. L'Orange, let's do another one, man.
All right. I'm gonna let him know later. But
yeah, let him know, man. Let's do another one.
So one of my favorite things about your style in particular, like the way you put words together, I love the way you stretch out rhyme schemes. I feel like it almost feels like such a basic thing to like tell someone they're really good at, but like elongating a scheme or the way that you do on the song, like monochrome. Like I was listening to that before we hopped on the phone. Like that's like the way that you kind of, yeah, of course, the way you weave through that song and just like keep just stretch the scheme for like bars and bars and bars and bars is just like, this motherfucker is still rapping. Like he's rapping about like 8 different things, but it's all in this. Like that shit's really impressive to me. I like that a lot, you know.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like a very nerdy thing that I got obsessed with at some point, where it was like I would listen to other rappers and it seemed like they would switch it every 4, you know, and then I started challenging myself, like, yo, how long can you do this? Like, how long can you stretch? And I had my buddy Martinez, his whole thing, he's like, when we were younger, he would just be like, yo, keep going. Because sometimes I would stop at the 4 or the 8, and he's like, no, keep going, keep going. So it was like a challenge that we would have with each other, you know, to like keep coming up with rhymes. Like I'm real big on rhymes, like rhyming, like, you know, like not like fake rhyming or like the inner, you know, the syllables and the interline rhyme and it making sense.
Yeah, like slant rhymes and shit. Yeah.
So yeah, that's just the nerdy part of me. Just like loving the rhyme stuff, you know. Sometimes I'm like, man, you need to like dumb it down, but then I say, nah, I'm having too much fun.
Which is a crazy thing to say, because it's not even like anything you're saying is like overly complex. You just don't happen to rhyme it all, you know. Like at least not to me, you know. Like it's not like you're like going over niggas' heads and shit. It's just like you know, it just all rhymes, and that's like you know, and like that appeals to the nerdy side of me too. You know, like and then hearing stuff like that, right? Like hearing stuff like that and like smoke rings and shit, like just like. It's just like, this is a person who cares about rapping. Like, this is a person who cares about putting the words together in a way that's hard. That's it, you know, like, and that's cool. That's enough. That's good. Yes. It's good that you like to do that. So
yeah, thanks, man. And that's actually very like, I appreciate that as like a reinforcement thing, because I think sometimes I even get in my head about it, like, yo. And me and Conductor talk about it sometimes. It's like I'll be coming to him with like, yo, I got this idea, man. It's gonna be like how a tomato is representative of a heart, and then when the heart gets eaten or cut, and then a worm, and he'll just be like, yo, man, just rhyme, bro. Don't overthink it. That's like his whole thing. He's like, man, just rhyme.
Right.
I'm like, all right, man. All right. That's how those records come together. It's like, I'm gonna just rhyme. I'm just gonna rhyme. You know, so that feels good hearing you say that, like that it's being acknowledged or observed, you know, that it's like, man, I'm just rhyming, man. Like I don't have a lot of I just like making the raw shit, man, the raw shit.
That's cool, you know, like the
Yeah.
raw shit is the raw shit is enough, you know. Like there was like real quick aside, I was reading this are you familiar with the dude Wiki out of New York, right?
Oh yeah,
Rat King.
super
Yeah,
dope. Super
yeah,
dope.
he's crazy. His what's it called? Half God from last year, the navy blue,
Crazy,
amazing, so
crazy,
wild. So like
crazy.
he got interviewed by my man Al. Shout out to Al. Had him on the show last season. Alphonse Pierre. So like Wiki mentioned something about how, I don't remember the exact quote, but it went something along the lines of like, don't belittle my art by trying to make me feel like I need to be something that I'm not, in the sense that like I'm I'm rapping about things that I live in the way that I rap them. And like it's you could consider it to be more like traditional by New York values or whatever, but like my art isn't less than what I think it is because it's not weird enough or it's not different enough. Like I make music that's good. Like or not even that I make music that's good. Like I make music that sounds this way and that's fine. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be like a Kanye West where you're like reinventing yourself on every project. Like you can just kind of do what you do and do it well, and people who gravitate toward it. It's not always going to guarantee that like sell 1 million records or like or do like billions of streams or whatever, but like if people like it, they're going to seek it out, and you're going to have people who are like, yeah, like that's like
exactly.
I think that's such an important thing to always remind people of, because like you don't have to have this like dramatic evolution to be considered a rapper or to be considered an artist or whatever the fuck. Like just do you and do it well, and that's enough, like
that's
type
so
shit.
important. That's so important to push though, because like we were talking about earlier, like when I was just starting out, there's that whole thing of like, well, if I do it like this, or this will garner this response or that response, but it'll be false to me,
right?
And that's where I had to finally get to that place before I could even step out and record on my own, to where I was like, I don't want it to be false though. I don't want it to be false. I don't want it to be something that doesn't represent who I am at the very core, and some records will be better than others, but I got to keep recording and keep going and keep committing to it. I think about how Kendrick Lamar is in like I was listening to that Spotify thing they did about the Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh yeah, because that came out today. Yeah, right.
That came out today. And one of the things the narrator says that I didn't think about until he said it was, he's like, yo, Kendrick can do all this because he got the juice. Like, you can call George Clinton and have him do your intro. Like, you can kind of like see that through. And we miss him because he's likely doing the same thing any other artist is doing, which is just like fine-tuning his talent,
right.
And not releasing it doesn't mean that it's not happening, And I think about that a lot, like just drilling down on what your craft is, what your ability is, and when it's ready, it's ready. You're not on anybody else's clock, And but yeah, it's just something I thought about, because it's like, man, you don't have to concern yourself all the time with the, because I make it personal. Like, I want the new Kendrick Lamar album. Like, I would. But it's not for me to say, it's his art. He'll release it when he feels like it's ready, and it's something that he wants us to consume. However, he'll decide for us to consume it. I'm like, dang, but I'm getting real tired of seeing these jokes on Twitter about my guy, man. Like, they're joking about him being retired. I'm like, yo, Kendrick, show up.
You got to come back and smash
the barbershop.
Right.
Yeah.
smash somebody in
The
the face real
barbershop is
quick.
killing us right now. Like, your boy, man, where is he at? Man, going on year 6, man. What's going on, man? I seen him at the Super Bowl, but I mean, he gonna do everything but drop an album. That's what he gonna do everything but drop an album.
Man. People were waiting for a new single and it didn't happen, but it's gonna happen when it happens, you know. But it's
that hurt too. I really waited.
I know. A lot of people did. I was kind of hoping for it, but at the same time, I was like, probably not. But you know, I've kind of tempered my expectations when it comes to Kendrick. Like, I'm ready when he's ready, but like, I'm gonna feel the hype when the single drops, and then when it's time, you know, like I'm saving all my energy for when it's time for us to really like lock it. But no, I get it. You know, like he's someone who cares about that process, and that process is I wish more, like, not to say that people don't care about it, but I wish more people kind of like understood the value of making people wait, if that makes sense. You know?
Yeah,
like,
it does. It makes a ton of sense. I mean, especially in hip hop. I mean, Adele makes everybody wait.
Right.
Adele makes everybody wait every single time, and she's gigantic. And now that she's here, I mean, I'm not a giant Adele fan. The wife is, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But
you know, like,
but her fans are like, you know, she has sustained them. Like,
yeah,
you talk to Adele fans, it's like she's the, you know, she's like, she's my beacon. Like, she's my North Star.
Right.
Okay, you sad or whatever. Like, that's odd.
Hey, man! People can say the same thing about people who are the same way with like Kendrick. You know? Like, yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm sure
right.
Or like everyone who's like Drake or Cole fans,
right?
We're like, man, Cole keeps going. He keeps showing up and he keeps going, and he just dropped that verse called, you know, they're inserting narratives like he dissed Kendrick on the song with Benny the Butcher. That's the one I heard recently. Like, he's the best. If Kendrick don't show up, he's not the best. It's like, oh man,
I don't know about all that. That's semantics. That's semantics. People are gassing it. Like, yeah. Cole does great on features, but like, I'm not gonna get into my feelings on Cole right now. But like,
so I got a few opinions. They're strong too.
Oh man, we could save that for another time. But like, yeah, like yeah. But no, I get it, and I think like to kind of go back to what you were saying before about just like recognizing yourself and kind of putting yourself like that's like, to me, that's what made a project like Central Standard Time so special when I first heard it, because, you know, I can't really think of very many I can't think of many. I can't make sorry, one more time. I can't think of many other rappers from your area who represented it in the way that you did. You know, like, you were like, this is me. Not even like, this is where I'm from, or like this is me. You know, like, from songs like from the Elzai joint to Holding Back Tears to Cold to James Lemonade, like, this is me in the way that like it feels like the essential Stik Figa. You know, like, you know how when an artist used to.
You actually like, got it, man. That makes me really happy, bro. The thing about that particular record is, all right, so Pete, so we had just did the one with LaRange, right? And it had a pretty good response. And I really LaRange, I wanted to do another one. But I don't think that was going to happen. So then I had a conversation with the boss, and I was like, he was like, what do you want to do with your next record? And I was, with everything you just said, I was like, man, because the LaRange record is not me. Like, it's both of us. It's a collaborative effort. And it has like a storyline, and it has like its own themes, but it's not, I mean, there's raps about me, but it's not entirely like my vision, you know, because it's a collab. And then so with Central Standard Time, I was like, yo, like, you asking me to do me, this is what would happen. And that was the goal. It was like track one, I do that all my performances. I had the double time flow thing. That's something I've been doing for like 5 years at that point.
Right.
Track two, Elzai, one of my favorite rappers ever. I wanted a song with him, and it happened, and it was crazy. Track three, Cold, that was about some local business and some issues, some local stuff I needed to air out. And the flow was like, that was dope because I got to do it on a LaRange beat. I don't think people expected that. And the audience is like super backpack audience. And I was like, what if I trap float on this? Like that would be crazy.
Wild. Love that
Because
song to this day.
Because I've been rapping that like when I was learning to rap and like I was really into 3 6 Mafia and stuff and Lord Infamous and stuff, like that's how I used to rap. So like I got to do that on that record. You know what I'm saying? I think the next song is like the ins and outs. That's again like nerdy lyrical stuff, playing with words. James Lemonade, I get to do like my super weird stuff with Homeboy Sandman and Quelle Chris, another two guys that I think are incredible. And you know, Holding Back Tears, super personal. And then the last joint with Rapping Forte.
Rapping Forte, yeah.
It is like, bro, and that was a funny conversation too, because he was like, yo, who would you want? We were talking about like features. Who would you want? And I'm like, I think the first time I got, you know, we had a budget, but I was like, you asking me, I want E40, Scarface, Bun B, you know. He's like, well, we can't afford any of them dudes, you know. But we got to talking, and I was like, what about Rapping Forte? Because like Players Club was one of those Rap City joints I used to love as a kid.
Right.
He was like, let me see. It happened. And I was like, yo, I got a song Rapping Forte. And it's like, I know Rapping Forte don't mean the same thing that he means to me, what he means to me and what he means to everybody else. But like the fact that I got to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's very specific to who I am. So hearing you say you caught that is like, it means the world to me because that's what I was going for. And sometimes I don't know catch what I'm trying to do, you know? So that's dope.
Like that's you, you know? And like that's another thing that just like in general, like regardless of what project we're talking about, because we're gonna get into the later stuff, obviously. Like it's just like you're, you know, like there's no other Stik Figa, you know, like just like the way you rap, the stuff you talk about, the way you talk about it, like that's you, you know, and like that's it's like I'm always just attracted to people who are like you could just tell like you could just tell that you're being yourself, you know, like even on Tomorrow Is Forgotten is like the first the first joint with Conductor Williams that I really tapped into, like for real. Like hearing a song like The Earth
Existential Crisis album. Yeah.
What? wait. What'd you call it?
That's my existential crisis album.
Why is that your existential crisis album?
Because like the world, at least to me, I was like, yo, the world is on fire. I think it was like the first time I had recognized that the world was on fire, you know?
Yeah,
and,
okay.
I mean, I knew it was, but I hadn't like looked up and like, oh man, like everything is bad. And then I had a talk with Conductor and he's like, man, you have to. So we were having these conversations about that. And he was like, bro, you're going to have to rap about some of it. It wouldn't be real if you didn't rap about some of it, you know?
Right.
So that's why I called it that. Like just every thought that I was having at the time, like the earth. Like, I mean, there's jokes and humor on there too. But
right,
like,
yeah. It's not depressing, but
it's definitely like some undercurrent of like, yo, what is happening in the world? Like, and what are you gonna even do about it? Because you're just you. You know, that was like kind of the theme of that record. But
right, yeah, you know, like what can you do and shit. But yeah, I feel like we've been leading up to this the whole time. But like, talk to me about your relationship with Conductor. Like, how did y'all meet, and what was it about? What was it about his music that really attracted you to what he was doing? And like, because like y'all have a bunch of projects together. like put out
Yeah.
over the course of like not too long of a time. Like, what was it about him? Like, how did y'all meet, and what was it about him that really stuck with you?
Well, Conductor's from Kansas City. I'm from Topeka. And when I was doing music in the scene, I mean, I was working with as many people in the scene as I could, because I was from, it's kind of, I don't know. I think the best way I could maybe compare it is like, if you're from New Jersey.
Yeah.
You're from New Jersey?
I am from Jersey, yep.
I imagine if you want to get something done, you might have to go to the city. Right?
Yeah,
like
that's
where it's popping at.
That's
like,
facts.
Shout out to Redman, shout out to Joe Budden, Queen Latifah, all of Jersey.
Just Blaze is from Jersey too. Sorry.
Just Blaze. Yeah, Jersey. It's like being from Jersey though. Being from Kansas is like being from Jersey, because Kansas City, Missouri is the actual city, right? So when you're from Topeka or Kansas City, Kansas, they look at you like how New Yorkers look at Jersey, like, yeah, it's over there. You know, like, I don't ever have to. Like, Kansas City, Missouri is like, I don't ever have to go over there. Like, I have no need for it. So I have to be over there a lot. And so I was playing lots of shows, man, in Kansas City. And we crossed paths. And I want to say he invited me to his crib. in like 2009. And he was playing me beats, and we bonded over 3 6 Mafia. We was talking about how we like 3 6 Mafia. We was making hip hop music, and we just had chemistry, man. Like, we just had like a musical and personal chemistry that like was very easy. Like, it was, I showed up, he put on the beat, I rap. He showed up, I put on the beat. We watched Martin. We played 2K.
Hey.
You know, I make song, and it was just very it was very cool like that. And I've just known him forever, and then nothing changed. Like he I think Westside Gun discovered him on Instagram. I don't want to speak for him, but I think he saw him on Instagram and was like, yo, this dude is incredible. And it was one of those really dope moments, because it's like, dang, when your homeboy is getting recognized for something you've been watching him do, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no feeling like that. It's like if you hoop with somebody all the time and they go to the league, it's like, wow,
man,
it's incredible, because it just makes it more tangible for you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we still making records. I think we still planning on making another one. You know,
let's go, man.
Yeah. So the most recent one, Joyland, I think is like the best one we've done so far, which makes me anticipate that the one we do after that will be even better than that one. Like, that's the way I look at our collaborations, is they just get better and better and better with each release. You know what I'm saying? So
that's incredible, you know?
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. I mean, I got ideas. I can't leak any of them yet, but
yeah, don't do that.
Conductor, he's the guy, man. He's the guy. And it's not just because he's my man either, though. Like, his talent, it just speaks for itself. And I think the main thing about his production style is that he has the same attitude that I do about rapping. Like, everyone does not like the way he does his thing. Like,
oh no.
Like, a lot of people, I've seen it. Like, I've seen people be like, yo, why does he use the tag so much? And why does he do this and that? And what's with the warble and this and that? But it's like, that's literally how he has always done him. Like, he gets in front, he finds records, he gets in front of that machine, and he goes. And he doesn't even take, like, I always say, like, he's like a DJ. You know how DJs be like, I don't take requests?
Yeah,
that's his style. Like, he gonna send you the beat, and he ain't gonna be no modifications to it.
Right. Like, you take it as is.
Take my art the way that I gave it to you, and if it moves you to throw some words on it, you know what I'm saying, put some flows on it, then go ahead. And if it don't, that's fine too, because I'm just still be over here making slaps. you know. And I think that's
no sending back the burger. No sending back the burger.
No sending back the burger. You don't tell the chef. You don't tell the chef that you want more mushrooms and none of that. Like,
right.
It's what it is. I think we both have that in common. I think that's where our synergy and our attitude is the same when it comes to the art.
Right. You can't buy that shit. Like, you can't buy that type of chemistry, you know? And like, I feel what you're saying, because I was watching, I saw him on the NPR joint with Gunn, talking about how he put the beat that Tyler wound up using for Call Me If You Get Lost together. And just like, I could see like, yeah, like this is a guy who really, I could tell that he cared in a way that a lot of people don't, you know, like, and just like, cause you know, not to toot my own horn, but I just interviewed Makami not too long ago. And
the GQ?
No, that was my man Paul. My man Paul did that. I did it for Pitchfork. He came. I'm not gonna tell the story. This isn't about me. But listening to listening to Pray for Haiti and like hearing those conductor tags. Like, I think he has like 4 songs in a row on there. He's got more, but like there's like 4 that are back to back to back to back. And just like the way, and just like the way that they're so, I hate to use the word wonky, but they're so like they warble, like you said. It's like they're constantly like on the edge or something. And just like hearing that style, and like even people who are like really into that like quote unquote lo-fi type of thing are like that, like nobody's doing that, you know, like it's and just like they groove and they funk, but you know, like they kind of they smell a little bit, if you get what I mean, right? You know, like that's the type of thing that I like.
Yeah,
you know, exactly.
It's like, and you know you can't get it nowhere else. That's the most important part. Is like knowing that you can't get it anywhere else is the thing. Like, there's like 1,000 fake DJ premieres. There's 1,000 fake.
Oh my God.
It's too many, for real. There were so many fake Kanye West beats. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
But it's like, we talk about, like, if you try to rap like Project, everyone will know immediately, and you will be corny for trying to do it.
Right.
It is the same thing. Like, you try to bite my man, like, you gonna look super crazy because it's too obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you biting my man. So
yeah, using somebody coming through using like the tag is like engineer instead of conductor, like engineer, like
something bootleg. Something bootleg.
Shit, like,
we don't do type bootleg. Yeah, this is the real deal. So, but yeah, that's my man. I'm proud of him, man. That's my brother for real. So
that's hard, man.
Keep your ears and hearts open for whatever we come up with next, and whatever he got coming next. You feel me?
Right. I can't wait, honestly. Like, I'm gonna go back and do my revisits later tonight, just off of all of this. But I got a couple more questions for you, and the next one is about like you've, like, there was a, like you and Conductor kind of went crazy and are still are going crazy, but like you had your run of projects, and then I saw earlier this year that you were putting something together with August Fanon, Heresy, which is coming out in really soon. But like, right. So like what did I want to ask? So like what was it about August that really caught you? Because I talked to my man Def C last year. He and August made the EP that's really incredible. Yeah, everybody go listen to Def C. He's fucking amazing.
Please do.
Yeah, like, so like what was it about August that really caught your ear and like made you want to make a whole project with him? Because I'm noticing that you're starting to go back into like the one producer collab bags a little bit. So like
it's gonna probably be the last one I do. But the thing with, because I mean, honestly, it's just, I don't know. I've been going, man. I need to sit down somewhere for a little bit. I need to catch my breath. No, with August, it was interesting because August is a friend of Anwar High Sign, formerly known as Hoslo. And
oh wow.
Yeah, Hoslo used to be on Mellow Music with me, and
Right.
we became homies over the last few years. And I don't know if I think he mentioned that he had got a beat from August, and he was like playing it for me, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, what is that? That's him? That's the August dude? And we got to having a conversation, and he was like, yo, he lives in Texas where you live. I said, no way in the world that man lives out here. He said, I'll link you guys, I'll give you information and all that. So he gives me his information, I text him, and then August is like, yo, let's do a whole record. I was like, word? And initially, I only wanted to do like an EP, like 5 songs or something like that.
Right.
But he pushed for an album, and now we have an album. And I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you about the album and the features, because I ain't talked about it yet. But
Please.
Vic Spencer.
Hey, shout out to Vic.
Shout out to Vic Spencer. Denmark Vesey.
Shout out to fucking Denmark, bro. I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, Iceberg Theory. One of my close homies, Body. Anwar High Sign.
Yeah.
Hoslo is on it. My man Seuss Mace is on it, and it's gonna be something very different. It's gonna be very weird. That's the heads up I have.
Hey, man.
But it's gonna
we like weird. We like weird. We like weird over here. Like, yeah, that's not a detriment.
Yeah, but I want everyone to check that out, man. It's it's called Heresy. Because the idea of heresy is that anything that runs counter to an orthodox belief is heresy.
Yeah.
And in the sense of hip hop, I'm just like, well, that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to go unorthodox. You know what I mean? That's really all it means. Not much
right.
That. But yeah, it's my unorthodox project, and I hope people enjoy it.
Man, I'm excited to hear it, because like saying up front, I haven't heard it yet, so I can't. I heard the single, yeah, no, I'm fucking with it, and just like I saw, cool. like the thing that grabbed me was the art, because the homie fucking Flowers did it. Shout out to Flowers. He did. Yeah. He did the logo for the podcast. Like,
no doubt.
Like, yeah, no, he's like like all the promo clips and stuff I do. Like, that's all. Like the artistic direction is all him. He did all of that for me.
Shout out to Flowers, man. Incredibly talented.
Yeah, he's the best. I love him.
And, Uncle Tim did the artwork. I haven't seen it yet, but you will on the day of its release. And then and Saga Assad mastered it. So it's something different, y'all. Something different
Hell
for me.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be my last, like, I don't know if I have another record this year. I think I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go pull a Kendrick on y'all for a little bit, disappear, and try to like come up with a new. What did Kendrick say? New flows coming. Be patient, brother. And then come up with
be patient, brother.
Be patient, brother. Patient, brother. Yeah, we'll come back with some new flows. But
you can't be. You can't always show your ass and take him to class. You can't always multitask like Megan, brother. Sorry, I had to come in there with that. That shit was crazy. Like, real quick before I ask my last question, it took me way longer than I'm comfortable admitting to realize that he was talking about the fact that Meg was still in school when he said that. Like I was listening to the song, like I think maybe like a couple months after it came out, and I was like, because it was the day Meg graduated. So like I was like, shit, he's talking about fucking Meg. Like it was a head bust, bro. It was crazy. I was like, wow. I just had one of those. I don't have many of those moments, but like that was like, wow. Like, how did I miss this?
How long we gotta wait until we just start calling him like a great? What's the holdup? What are we waiting on?
I don't know. Like honestly, I think he's a great. He's not my favorite, but he's a great. Mm-hmm. Like it's like
great, though.
Oh no, he's definitely a great. Like it's like a I saw somebody on Twitter talking today about Wiz Khalifa, and people were like, so like you think Wiz is a legend? And somebody was, and my man Harold Bingo, shout out to Harold, he was like, yes, like I'm not a huge fan and his music is kind of hit or miss, but Wiz is a legend. Like,
he's a legend.
you know,
He's been in this thing for how long, man?
Like almost 20 years at this point, you know, like he's been around, and you know, like between Kush and Orange Juice and Black and Yellow alone, he's out of here, you know, like regardless of how you feel about Kendrick, like regardless of how you feel about whatever, like Kendrick is a great, like I can confide with you in the fact that Kendrick is a great, like
I hope that I guess I'm thinking to myself that if the next one, I'll ask you this because you're in the journalist world, but do you think it's such a thing anymore of like, is there such a thing anymore of like, if this next one's a stinker, it's over for them? Like, is that sentiment still a thing for artists?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be. Oh yeah, yeah. Poor guy, man. I mean, it's the big day is not good, and it was the whole like his situation was different because like that was like the debut album, even though it wasn't really the debut. It was he kind of set himself up. What'd you say? Sorry, you cut out for a sec.
No, I was agreeing with you. Like he set himself up for that because it's been like it's another album instead of like it's my debut, it's my most intense, it's my shouldn't have did that. Yeah. If you was gonna just say hot shower.
It's like you know, like it is what it is. But like Kendrick, so let me say this up front. Damn is not my favorite thing he's ever done. I haven't really revisited most of it. There's like songs on it that I like. Like I appreciate the construction of it, and like especially like he's somebody else who cares, you know, like Kendrick definitely cares, and I can appreciate the level of craft that he puts into putting forth the message that he does. That album, not even that it came and went, I just like it didn't really like do it for me the way like To Pimp a Butterfly did, which is like I also want to have myself sound like I'm like I want Kendrick on jazz beats all the time. Like that's not even like why it didn't hit for me. It's just like I don't know. It just didn't really like because I love Humble. I love DNA. I love oh man I love the Rihanna song. That might be my favorite song on that. I love that fucking song. The Steve Lacy joint that he produced.
What's the one? I want to be with you, and I want to be with you, and
I don't even remember. Oh, was that Lust? I think
Love,
maybe Love. I don't remember. See,
but yeah, it has like this. It had this clear plan of like becoming a crossover artist. You know, like And it was weird. It's real confusing because he seems conflicted. Like. Good Kid, Mad City comes out. Everyone deems it a classic.
Right.
Second album comes out. He goes completely radical, bust a left. Right? And it's good. And I'm like, cool. I'm here for that. That's how I felt. I was like, thank you.
Right.
He goes, damn. And he's like, nah, I want to play with everybody else. That's how I felt. Like, I want to play too. Like, I want to be, you know, I want a song on radio that 14-year-olds will like. And I don't begrudge him that. It's just kind of confusing when I heard Damn the first time. I was like, what are we going for here? What are we looking
and it's
for?
Like interesting because then there's a song, because then like Duckworth is the closer on the album, and that's like not a radio record, you know, like that song is stupid, crazy. Like maybe one of his best ever. Duckworth is quite possibly nuts. It's up there for me personally. So like he tried to do so much on it, and I appreciate that about that album, but it's not really a project I like revisit a lot outside of Duckworth, Triple X, DNA, Humble, and the Steve Lacy song. That's and the Rihanna joint.
We are the same
Like,
person. Like Triple
see,
X is my jam.
crazy. Yeah,
It's like the cousin
you know,
of Mad City.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so but I say all of that to say we should, like, Kendrick is a great. Like, you don't have to like everything he does to not at least be like, he earned his stripes, he made his impact. Like, you can't make something like you can't do something like the Control verse and not be a great. Like, he really he did that, you know. Like, it was almost 10. I can't believe this. It was almost 10 years ago at this point. But like, he did that. It's coming up. It's coming up. Like, it's like 7-8 years, maybe, something like that. We're not quite there yet, but it's creeping.
But that's crazy,
like,
though.
Yeah, like that was like a he did that, you know. Like, you can't do that. Yeah. You can't do that if you're not in like the great conversation. And
especially
like,
the way everyone reacted to it.
Man, like,
people were upset.
Yeah, like some people are still upset. You know, like it's like that's.
I think like Cole's still upset. You want to ask John? He asked me. That's just John. I don't think him or Drake ever got over that.
Yeah, I don't know, because like, and like they kind of went about it in their own different little ways. Like Cole, what once again, that's a whole other podcast. My feelings.
We'll have that conversation.
Yeah, no, we'll have that conversation for sure.
Off mic.
but like fucking yeah, like Drake has his little, like, he'll like put out the little barbs every once in a while. It's like super duper subtle. Kendrick did it for a bit, and then he was kind of on his Pusha T, and then he stopped caring. But like, you know, it's but I say all of that to say Kendrick is definitely a great. He's a conversation starter. Like, when he drops a song or when he drops a feature, all eyes are on Kendrick. Like, he's a great. He's cemented. He's cemented for sure.
Facts.
And I wanna wrap this up by asking about you and where you kind of feel you are, because you know, like Central Standard Time is turning 5 this year, which is crazy to think about. And like you've kind of gone through your whole, like, you've gone through a whole new arc and kind of brought in these people, or rather this person who was, you know, in Conductor, who was like so integral to you kind of coming up, and like y'all have all this work together, and like you're on, I don't want to say you've turned over a new leaf, but you've definitely you've kind of like hit a pretty prolific patch of your career, and more people are starting to come back and recognize you who weren't necessarily here before. So like, in the 5 years between dropping a record like Central Standard Time and right now, right before Heresy's about to drop, like, how do you feel you've improved from where you first started, and where do you feel like you're going from here? Like,
man, you are good at this, bro.
Thank you.
That's a good question. I think when I first started, my intention was maybe overly focused on impressing other people. Trying to prove that I could rap. Trying to prove that I was, because again, like you mentioned previously, I'm from Topeka, Kansas, bro. Like, I'm from somewhere people don't even know if it's a real place. I've had someone ask me, did I make it up?
Nah, man.
So, having said that, the two most popular questions, they got black people there, and is that in, and then a state that it's not in. Like, I met AC when I was a kid, and I told him I was from Topeka. I met him in New York, and he was like, "Oh, that near Kentucky?" That's a true story.
What'd you say, Kentucky?
I spent a lot of time trying to impress people with my ability, or feeling like I had something to prove all the time. So I think that kind of clouded the way that I approached records, because I was so focused on trying to impress people. I think going forward, I've been doing a better job. Not even a better job, but my intention has changed. I'm not chasing a bag, and I'm just doing more inward looking instead of outward seeking outside validation for the art.
Facts.
Like I'm just now, and I'm hoping people will hear it on this next record when they hear it. But now I'm just going inward more. I'm just making sure I'm good with it and that it's true and that it's real. I've just been evaluating that piece. Cause I used to just write battle raps, bro. Like that was
I could tell, you know.
I just write battle raps. Like if you listen back to the LaRonge record and that Smoke Rings record,
that's
like,
all battle raps, I swear.
And that's
I was just thinking
like in my mind, that's all I wanted to do. I was like, before, like when we first started putting that record together, I was just like, yo, I just gotta show people that I'm nice. Like, I gotta show people I'm nice. Like I had a song with Rhapsody, and I was like I was really stressed about that song because I was like, yo, but did she get me though? Because she can't I gotta record it again. Like, I don't want her to get me. Like, you know, like he's just like, no, it's a good song though. Like, you need to focus on it being a good song. And I wasn't. I was like, nah, like people need to know I'm nice. And now I'm like, I want to look inward more. I want to make good songs. And I mean, I still care about being nice.
Right.
It's just the piece of the pie that it takes up is less. You know, the pie chart is cut up differently now. And
right.
And there's a larger percentage of it. Just this is more focused on being honest and being true and having a good time with it. And I think that'll shine on Heresy when people hear it. And I think it'll continue to show up. And I'm getting older, you know, so as I get older, I don't know how many more records y'all will be getting out of me. Me and my buddy Marty talk a lot about, like, man, I won't rap forever. And I'm like, I'll probably rap forever. I just won't always record music forever. So I'll probably always write rhymes like until I'm 100, bro. But you just might not get to hear them. You know, I just end up being that sensei at the end of the martial arts movie, who like, you don't never whoop nobody until they think they can, and then he just busts it out on them. He mess up the young buck. That's who I'm trying to be. Like, I only bust it out with when I need to. Like, that's where I'm going with this.
Right.
So, yeah. I think that's the biggest difference is just the intention. The intention is changed. You know.
And yeah, I feel like that's like the key word of this conversation is intention. It's come up a bunch, you know, and like that, and like it's crazy that you like kind of recognize that about yourself, and you're just kind of like, that's one thing that's been really interesting to see about like this particular phase of your whatever you want to call it, career, whatever the fuck. Like this is like, you know, you're at a point where not that you don't care, because you still care. But like you're you just like, you're just kind of coming at it from a different vantage point, and you're about to put out this cool project that is, you know, probably really gonna bowl some heads over, especially like considering like how the climate is now, you know. Like I think more people are kind of looking for that stuff now than they might have been like 5 years ago. But like, you know, like you're still you. And
that dude Earl had a lot to do with me changing my vantage point too. Earl Sweatshirt. I was reading interviews with him, and granted, he's a superstar, but when I read his interviews, he talks like someone who has the same concerns about his art, you know. And something clicked for me when I think like Joe Budden shit on it.
Yeah, because he was mad about the Loiter Squad skit where he played him in the he's being a baby.
Yeah, but the excuse he used was like, you know, that's the music that scares all the hoes, and that's the, you know, nobody listen. And I'm like, that's not the intention.
Right.
And
it's also not true.
And it's also not true. Yeah. But it's like if you just spend some time listening to it, and then I was like, when I started thinking about it, yo, isn't explaining that to people, you know, and I'm not going to. We're completely on the other sides of the fame spectrum, but I think like intention is similar, you know.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. And you know, like wherever you go from here, you know, like I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it leads. And this was like, I don't have any more questions, but like this was just like really illuminating for me, having already talked to you once and already being friendly. Like this is just, it's just always
Yeah,
great. Like you really, you know, like you've got, this was really cool, you know, like, and
yeah, man.
I appreciate you for the music you make, and just like being so committed to yourself and showing yourself in a way that is just authentically you. And you
Thank you, man.
you just cut up, you go crazy, like just like
Yeah,
that's it. Like you make dope ass
that's
music. Like
it.
thank you for the music. Like
Yeah, that's my whole thing, man. Like, yeah, that's it right there, man. I thank you just for taking the time to talk to me, bro. Like, I really appreciate it.
Oh, of
You know what I
course.
mean? And having me on your platform. I enjoy your platform. I check it out when I'm not on it. So thank you, bro.
Oh, of
I'm
course.
humbled. I'm humbled.
Oh
And
man.
thank you for all the times like back when you were doing DJ booth, bro. Like there wasn't anybody I was like, I don't really spend a lot of time with press because it's not something like since the blog era collapsed, you know, like I
Yeah.
haven't really been like too concerned about it. But like you showing interest and a few other guys were just like, yo, man, what you got going on? Like, what do you release? Like, that means something, you know what I mean? And I always appreciate you reaching out and showing that interest, bro. It means a lot.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, like I'm here because I like this shit. You know, like it's I'm just I just want to put on for good music. That's really all, you know, like as like as a black kind of sort of maybe not really queer person. Like I just want to like put on for shit that I think is
Mhm.
fucking dope type shit. You know, like that's what we're doing here. And I
Yeah,
appreciate you just being as
yeah,
real as you are. So like just thank like I just I'm still at a point where it blows my mind that anybody cares what I have to say. And I hope I never let that go. So just like thank you for,
yeah, man.
thank you for checking in too. And it's like just thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank
And
you, thank
just,
you.
you know, it's important, man. Just keep making space for like that you like I'm always cognizant of making sure I'm not taking up space. And
Right.
when people invite me in space, you know, and and being aware of that and being appreciative of it because you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? So that's really what it comes down to for me. And I just like I said, I'm humbled, bro. I'm humbled.
And same here. So
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.